and for you to do other things with the city as well. And so I signed up for that. Luckily, I made it in.
All right, it's 5:02. I'm going to call to order the work session for the City Council on this Tuesday, February 25th, 2005. According to our rules of order and procedure, in the absence of the mayor and the mayor pro tem, the council members present shall vote to elect a presiding officer for the meeting. I expect the mayor to be here a few minutes late. I will take a motion for the presiding officer.
Do we really have to be
make it
so
official?
formal?
I don't want to be accused of not following the rules.
We should give Melody a chance.
I was gonna make Caesar.
That is true. That is true.
I was gonna make Caesar difficult, but
No,
may I hear a motion
Motion
Second.
for?
to have Councilman Weiss act as interim.
Act as a presiding
as
officer.
interim.
All right. And I heard
Let's
a
go.
second. Melody,
Yes.
Yep. Yes.
Rudy?
All of us.
Caesar.
Yes. Let's go.
All right, I'll vote yes. I might as well. All right, that brings us. Sorry, I did want to make sure we were following the rules as closely as we could. That takes us to item 2A, presentation regarding the Pflugerville Community Development Corporation fiscal year 25 Q1 financial report. Looks like we've got our finance director, Ms. Waldron, here to present to us.
Yes. So, good evening. So this is fiscal 25's first quarter, and revenue is tracking very nicely, 22% of budget. A big portion of this revenue, 912,000, won't actually be received till the fourth quarter, so that's part of that 22%. So sales tax is tracking at 24%. And I do anticipate, we've already seen February's numbers, which were quite a bit up. So I still feel comfortable with the 5% projection that we put in the budget. And interest income is coming a little below what you would expect at 25%. It's coming in at 22%. We have seen a dip in interest, and so we will keep an eye on that. On the expense side, we're at 8% of budget, but want to point out that development incentives, capital projects, debt payments, we're going to see a lot more of those expenditures as we go through the third and fourth quarter, especially the fourth quarter for debt payments and development incentives. I've also included just a graph. I know y'all kind of visually like to see the sales tax. Other than the anomaly of October, sales tax is tracking over the rest of the years. So just we'll continue to watch that, but we're looking very, very strong on sales tax. That's all I had for you this evening. If you have any questions for me.
I did, but it was on the balance sheet, and I didn't have that in front of me. But there was just some items that I wanted just to know what was the nature of the balance. Like I believe it was accounts receivable.
So
at
there's
12 million, I think.
There's a large accounts receivable. It pertains to the water park. There's also a related liability that pertains to the water park.
So is that just their normal annual amount that they owe,
No,
or there's
that's
something
what's
in
on the
arrears?
books as a receivable from them.
Oh, so
Like
is that what's owed in total
full
over the future
contract.
years?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was it.
Okay.
Is there any other questions on PCD financials?
I have so many questions. It's unbelievable. But no, I mean, it's great job, Chris.
Yeah, and I'm glad to see the sales tax trending accurately. Looks like we're going to be right on it again
Right
this
on
year.
where we are, yep.
Actually, I do have a question.
Oh.
You had said except for the anomaly in October.
Mhm.
Could you refresh my memory about that? I'm not sure if I knew or.
Well, just, I mean, you can see by the chart.
The
Yeah.
actual chart.
No,
24
well,
was
yes.
much higher.
It was
So
much
you know
higher
what?
last year than it is the other 3 years on this graph.
Right, the other 3 years are trending well, but for some reason in October in 2024, we had a spike.
Do we know why
okay.
we did so good that extra $500,000 that quarter? Was it delayed? It doesn't look like it
Yeah,
was delayed from the prior year.
it's nothing that stood out.
Are you sure
So-
there wasn't just a rush on Halloween costumes and everything else? that goes
Probably,
around?
yeah.
Okay.
Or last
Well, it
minute.
was August elections.
Yeah.
You buy them early.
that's
I mean,
fair.
I can buy Christmas stuff.
It was an initial HEB construction, tax dollars. I mean, I think the HEB construction was probably
Yeah.
beginning right then. I don't know
I
if
can
there was
try to
tons of
dig in,
construction
but off the
materials.
top
Yeah, I
of my
was gonna
head, I
ask,
don't
I
know.
mean, since December, I mean, do we have a way of looking at HEB's sales tax revenue?
I actually did look at it.
Yeah, to see how
Because I
it,
wanted to see if it was going to be a double of our current HEB. And it was close. It was close.
close to double?
It was close to like being
Comparable.
about the same as our
Comparable.
current
Because
HEB.
remember what their thought process is. They think that that's the reason why they're keeping the old one. They think that you're just gonna have two different bases.
Well, I just
Yeah.
wanted to see, and maybe we should, if we can, look at Hutto's HEB to see how much business they've lost versus how much business we've gained.
That's the real question.
And I was talking to someone today, it sounds like that's almost a regional draw, the new
Valid.
HEB.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing I buy there anyway is the prepared foods. The
Oh
little
yeah,
things in the
man.
trays, which-
Those are great instead of going to
Pork
some of our
chops?
other
Oh my
places.
God.
Yeah.
And that's the thing with prepared foods, is
Yeah.
those actually have sales tax as opposed to other groceries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Prepared foods, convenience foods also come with sales tax, so we're definitely helping to contribute to the
There
sales
you
tax
go.
revenue.
Yeah, I actually did look at that because after we talked at the retreat, I was like,
Yeah.
I need to look and see
Hutto's.
how
So
you
just-
well know how our second HEB was doing compared to
Okay.
the first. Yeah.
Okay, so to clarify, you're saying the second HEB has almost the same amount of sales tax as the original one, so we've almost
Correct.
doubled.
Correct.
Okay, so it hasn't taken away from.
Right, and that's
Yeah.
what I wanted to see. is
They,
if it
they said they
was-
just have two different bases.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
they said that the market because they're not gonna and that's what's interesting. I got well. Let's not have that. Let's not have the
Maybe just
conversation
go
about
to the
guys.
store more
Yeah.
often because it's more convenient.
See what we're poaching from
too.
Hutto.
We don't specifically.
It's
talk about
okay.
businesses.
It's
Yes.
okay. Okay.
Any other
Oh, okay.
questions on our PCDC financials? PCDC. Going once, going twice. All right. On to item 2B. Thank you, Tracy, for that presentation. On to 2B, we've got our discussion regarding community input and city action as a result of the 2023 Pflugerville Community Survey. Looks like we've got our Director of Communications and Marketing, Mr. Roger Haney. Welcome, Director.
Hey. Good evening, Council. I'm happy to be here. Once again, I am Roger Haney. I'm the Director of Communications and Marketing for your city of Pflugerville. Excited to be here. I'm going to go over some of our biannual results and kind of show you how, as a city, we've responded to some of those requests. We'll kind of get into that now. To give you kind of a background, I know you all, most of you know this, but we do a survey through the company that's ETC Institute. They're basically kind of the standard vendor that a lot of cities go to do community satisfaction surveys, and we do it every other year. And so we've been doing this since 2012. Before I go into some of the detail, because we're taking a lot of information here and kind of giving it succinct to you all, but you can find the entire survey at pflugervilleTS.gov/survey. So if you want to log on there, like in your spare time and check out more detail, it is on there. Our next survey, this is an on-year, will be in March, and then we'll be back here to present the results on May 13th to you all as well, just like we've done in the past. In general, our top three priorities that our residents tell us that they want basically us as a city to prioritize and to work on, 97% of them say traffic management and signal timing is important. That's no surprise. 94% on average say new roads and road widening are a huge priority for us as a city to basically step into that. And 92% say water and wastewater for the future is 92%. That's important to them and that we should focus on that for the next 2 years. Some of the other survey feedback in general, and this kind of stays about the same throughout the years, but what we're doing well, library, parks and trails, quality of trash recycling, police, EMS, and ambulance service, and utility building. On the right-hand side, you'll see what their emphasis was for us as a city for 2 years that we should focus on. And like I said on that last page, we were showing the top 3 focus points that residents wanted us to focus on as a city. But once again, it all kind of bubbles up to the top. The results are very similar: flow of traffic and congestion and management, maintenance of city streets and drainage, quality of parks and trails, quality of water and wastewater services, quality of police service, quality of EMS and ambulance service, and then effectiveness of communication also was one of the top priorities for residents. And so I'm going to kind of go through each one at a high level of those 3 priorities that residents said was important to them. And the biggest one, like we said before, was traffic management. 97% of traffic management and signal timing is most important for us to focus on from residents. 94% said they desired an investment in roads and road widening. On the right-hand side, you'll see the actions that we've taken as a city in the past 2 years. We launched an advanced traffic management system. We had battery backup units at all intersections now. Emergency vehicle preemption system, we've launched that. We've launched a brand new in-house street sweeping program. We invested $15 million for Piccadilly Drive, Central Commerce Drive, and Royston Lane improvement projects. We've invested $5.3 million in neighborhood streets. A total of 34 neighborhood streets have been reconstructed. We've constructed 10.57 miles of road, and we're going to do another 9.57 miles are anticipated by 2025. The extension of Kelly Lane and Colorado Sands, as you all know, that's in progress. We finished Impact Way Phase 3 in 130 Business Park. And we go to water and wastewater, our input from residents, and our directive there was 92% prioritize an investment in water and wastewater infrastructure. And the actions we've taken, as you know, is we've actually broke ground and are actually moving very, very forward on our wastewater plant expansions and surface water expansions. We've been doing video updates online on social media, keeping residents in the know on those 2 construction projects. The secondary Colorado River waterline project is designed and kicked off as well. We launched an automated metering infrastructure system with the Water Smart portal, where residents can track their water use on the regular and be able to make changes to their habits when using water. We did the $338 million WIFIA loan assistance. And then Public Works Utilities Operations Complex is designed and on its way as well. So lots of projects under water and wastewater. We're doing pipeline cleaning and televising. We're actually shooting a PF Insider episode to show residents what that means. We actually put a robot into our pipelines and check for integrity. It's a pretty sophisticated operation. We did the 5-year reclaimed water master plan. We had generators installed at all critical facilities. And then, of course, we won the Best Tasting Surface Water Award with the Texas Water Utilities Association.
Before it gets filtered or after it gets, I'm kidding.
Oh, yeah.
Just stop.
After Mr. Mayor.
When is the next one coming out? I mean, is that just we keep winning it every year,
Try
or
water.
when is the next?
You know, I want to find that out. I'll get with Brandon and, but yeah, that was kind of a feather in our
Because I
cap.
love telling people that.
We do, I mean, I drink our water
daily.
daily, probably fill up from our sinks and
Yeah.
at the office. And yeah, it's fantastic. The other big emphasis from residents for us was parks and trails. And the input was that quality of parks and trails is a high priority in the next 2 years. And then some of the actions we've taken, all community parks, as you know, now have shade. And I've come from a couple other cities where we're nowhere near that. So that was a great investment. And let's face it, in the summertime, unless we have shade on parks, kids really can't play on it. The average park playscape age is less than 5 years throughout all of our community parks. Huge achievement for Parks and Rec. We've launched the Trail Capital of Texas brand, and we're currently pushing a lot of time, attention, and marketing to that. We're also getting designated, as you know, as the Trail Capital of Texas through the state legislature. We're working with the governor's office to get that. I believe we have the media release drafted, and I believe March, April is when we'll actually get to go down to the mayor I don't know whether they're going to do it at the Capitol or one of the office buildings, but we're actually going to be presented that designation. Cool. We're excited about that. And then, of course, we've invested in trail gaps and consolidations. And then, of course, Phase 2 of the 1849 Park is on the way. Some of the other actions, I know, Mayor, you were there, and some of the council members were there at the Stonehill Multi-Sport Court, amazing facility. Adult and Youth Challenge course in Cambridge Heights Park, another amazing facility there. And then we worked on trail accessibility improvements at Heritage Park, Cambridge Estates Park, Cambridge Heights Park, and Zola Park. And of course, we've expanded our public art collection throughout parks as well and throughout the city, which we've done a lot of media focus on that on social media. Been received very, very well by the community. And then, of course, we did trail lighting under Railroad Avenue with our art and public space mural there. And if you have not been through that, it's pretty amazing. It's lit very, very well. Another priority is downtown. 78% of the community prioritize an investment in downtown Pflugerville enhancements. And of course, you all know the action we've taken on that. Downtown East project is underway. They have broken ground. And then the Downtown Streets Master Plan and Downtown Action Plan have been revised as well. And then, of course, we've launched a slew of downtown events, Slice of Pflugerville, Rock the Block, Coffee and Fuel, and I know there's a couple others that are in development now through Parks and Rec as well to bring time and attention and resonance to downtown. Obviously, when Downtown East opens, that will be a game changer with the great lawn and the stage there as well.
And our contractors work on the weekend on that project.
Okay. Yeah, that's awesome. So what we're going to do is we actually designed a marketing program around this to let residents know all of the great, we're basically calling it your input and our action. We've produced a logo there. And so we've produced several media social badges that'll tackle each of those top emphases. And it will just show, what the emphasis was, what we were told by residents was important to them. And then as a city, how we've responded to those. We're going to take it to the next level with videos too, and I have a sample to show you of that. So what we'll do is we will, starting first or second week of next month, we will start this campaign process of showing what residents asked for in the community-wide survey and how we as a city have made great strides in meeting what residents wanted us to do. So this is a commercial spot that we put together, a video spot. This is the one, what we're trying to do is combine subject matters that make sense, so we can do maybe 4 to 5 TV spots. I'll let it speak for itself. Jessica and our team, our PIO, did the voiceover for it. You'll be able to tell that she was a former journalist and newscaster, but here we go. I'll give you a little sample. Oh. Hold on a minute. Our sound... Yeah, our sound worked earlier.
Is the government keeping you down?
That's weird, yeah. Yeah, we tested it earlier and it worked really good. Are you, Trissa trying to get it to hold on there?
Old McDonald, that far?
Do you know what's wrong with it?
It's okay. We can watch it.
Well, I can send you this link.
I would need to watch it with captions at my old age now. So.
But, yeah,
We can't
basically,
capture the
Always on television.
Well, there's a glare, I can't see it.
yeah, there's a voiceover script behind it, and we go over the percentages of what residents said were our top priorities, and then we show via video and still pictures how we achieved those goals. So basically, it's taking it off of a JPEG, like would be a regular social media post, and we're putting it into video form. We feel that video does skew much better on social than JPEGs and or still pictures or art. So we will be launching this, like I said, in the next 2 weeks of next month and letting residents know that is basically how we've responded as a city to show the results. So I will get that link to you. Like I said earlier, the sound was working just fine, but I don't know, technical glitches. So I'm going to move forward on this.
Okay, I actually like the video.
Yeah, I mean, you can kind of read the bullet points.
Is that
pretty
our
much what
truck
the
there,
voiceover.
that street sweeper?
We actually have it in-house. That was a sample one that was
Okay.
sent to us by the vendor.
No, I've seen it on the streets, I just didn't.
So I'll let it play through, I guess.
If I may ask, how much do you know about the traffic signal preemption system that we talked about in this video?
Yeah, it's for our emergency vehicles where it will preempt the signal to turn it green faster so that they can get to the
Don't
destination.
tell him that. He's going to ask for the switch.
You want that for your car?
No, I've experienced it. I was wondering why the turn signal only let one car through, but it was because a police car was coming the other direction.
Just flash your high
It
beam.
actually worked very, very well. I'm curious if we have implemented it on our ALS units or shared the technology for adoption with our ESD counterparts.
Yeah,
Thumbs up back there again.
All right.
I've gotten a yes from Assistant
I mean,
Police
back in the
Chief.
old days.
You just flash your high beams. The old days. Now you're making me feel old.
So
You
as I
remember
mentioned
that?
before, this is an on-year for the community-wide satisfaction survey. We'll be rolling that survey out March 10th through April 7th through ETC, which is the vendor we've used in the past several years. Once again, they're kind of an industry standard that a lot of cities use to just kind of gauge how residents are feeling, and they gauge what priorities residents would like to see the city. They basically put a weighting on what's the biggest emphasis that we should focus on according to our residents. And then, like I said before, May 13, we'll do a presentation to the city council like we've always done. We will have ETC here, the vendor, and he can go into a lot more detailed explanations. Like I said, we always make our survey available to residents and the public. It's at the /survey on our website. You can download the PDF. We also have an executive summary on there as well. So if you just kind of want to read the high notes, you can do that as well. Probably more information than you ever wanted to know. It's 172 pages. But it's very, very lengthy and very, very valuable for us to gauge resident temperament, community temperament, and then how we as a city can respond to those temperaments and make those projects happen that are most important to our residents. And now we're taking it a step further with a marketing campaign with videos and, like I said, JPEG posts that will show residents, you told us this was the emphasis. We listened. Not only did we listen, we acted and made it happen on your behalf. And so that's what we're going to be focusing on in communications. Like I said, for the next coming months is this campaign will go up full force. It'll be on all of our social channels and all of our communications channels, including our e-blast. So with that, I hope you like the campaign. I hope that you can see that we've made great strides in a lot of the projects throughout the city. I know a lot of this is probably old news for you. I know you know about the projects that have kicked off, but we kind of wanted to just show you kind of a high level of our past survey because we are moving into the new one, which will launch coming up here next month, and we'll keep you informed of the entire process as we roll that out.
I have a couple of questions.
Sure.
So the survey questions for this upcoming survey, are they basically the same as the past year, or do they, are they refined as we go?
They
through the
are.
years?
We have the ability to refine questions as well. ETC kind of has it down to a science of what gets the data that we really want. But yeah, we are in the process now of scrubbing that upcoming survey. We're going to ask more questions, obviously, about downtown since we've actually broke ground now. What we hope will happen is we will see that temperament towards downtown go up in percentage. We already have a great percentage on it. But with that particular project, you know, we'll definitely see an increase in making that more of an emphasis that residents want. But I know it was a long answer to probably a short question, but yes, we can customize it. ETC works with us side by side. They're the experts when it comes to community-wide polling and resident surveys, so it's great to have them on our team again.
Is it possible to go back to the slide that had all the various important things, not just the top three?
Sure.
And then, because I didn't see on the park slide what percentage prioritized that every.
Yeah, that was part of the survey where they did ranking emphasis and they didn't place a number to it. They do all sorts of different reports. Some of them gives percentage, some of them go what they do kind of an emphasis ranking on what's most important to residents. And that is one of the top 5. Trails,
Parks and Trails was
connectivity,
the
parks
top.
and trails. Yeah, it's always been on our top 5 list. And whenever we get the results back, even if you look at past surveys, and we have, of course, copies of all of those, you'll see it's pretty much those same top 4 trends that are the emphasis of our residents. But it does give us a good roadmap of what we should focus on. And like I said, I'm excited now that we'll be able to launch this public campaign and show residents basically video of those projects. Some completed, some are already in action. Videos speak 1,000 words, so we're excited to launch that campaign.
I remember this person who used to complain over and over again in Highland Park about getting parks done and organized right here. Some blonde-haired lady. I know. I'm just trying to recall.
Thank you for that segue into my next question, which is, I love to see the action. But I'm just curious, not that it's for this campaign, but curious about what things were on our list to achieve that are not yet done and are still on the horizon. And for Parks and Rec, my mind went to the development of the north shore of the lake. And then there's still several undeveloped parks. And in the past, we've reported the percentage of people that are within a certain distance from a park or a trail. And just wondering if that's a focus of increasing that percentage so that everyone in the city has the same access to parks and trails.
We do, and we have some language worked into some of our other spots coming up that kind of reflect that. But basically, when we go back and look at our past surveys, it seems to be those top 5 all the time that seem to be the emphasis. You know, we already mentioned parks and trails, but that's a great question as well. And it's something that as we go into this campaign, we'll be addressing a lot of those other caveats as well. And our challenge, of course, is to get it to a point where residents can digest it. If you look at the survey itself, it's pretty daunting. Like I said, it's 174 pages. Our challenge has always been to pull tidbits from that were most important to residents and be able to present it where they understand it. And that's where video comes in, because we're actually showing the project. We're not just talking about it, we're showing it.
So, Rod, go ahead.
Oh, no, can you go back to the slide that had the other items that weren't in the top, necessarily in the top 5?
Was it?
It
There's
was
the table.
There we go.
there. So what we are doing well includes trash, police, and EMS and ambulance. So people are satisfied. I didn't have a chance to read the 170-page survey, but you know, with the top 3 are in the 90 percentile or whatever. What kind of percentile are these items to be considered
yeah.
doing well?
I would have to delve into the report
okay.
to look at those. Like I said, it's very, very extensive. What we tried to focus on is the top 5 here, because I can make a presentation literally for an hour if I went through every one of them. But on the what we're doing well side, it very much matches the emphasis that residents want on those subject matters as well. So they kind of work together. On the side where it says emphasis in the next 2 years, those don't mean that we're doing a bad job in those areas. That's just what residents are telling us that are important to them, that they want us to focus on. And so for this presentation, we kind of focused on that as well. But yeah, like I said, there's a lot of information in there. You know, do take the time to check it out. It's very well done. ETC does a fantastic job. But I think that answered your
Yes,
question?
yes,
Okay, thank you.
I just wanted to make sure that that's like top, you know, not just the top
Yeah,
ones, but
yes.
it is a top percentage.
And in the surveys, they literally go department by department and go into in-depth surveying. And so they will actually, each department kind of gets a report back on what residents think they're doing the absolute best and what they think needs to be a stronger emphasis for our direction. And that's broken down by department. So it's a very, very useful document and a great way to, you know, obviously plot our future. You know, we're delivering what residents want.
Even if the residents didn't know that department existed, they still get that feedback and information.
Yep, exactly.
So given the survey, the input, and the output, I'm just happy to see that we became a city.
Yes. And like I said, I guess to end it, we'll be back with the resident survey results of our next one. We'll put it in the form of a presentation, and I'll reiterate again that ETC rep will be here, and so we can go into, and we did that last year too, and the previous 2 years, where you can ask more in-depth questions and they can go into greater detail. Just depends on how much you want to drill down. They give us a lot of information.
Excellent.
Thank you.
All right.
Well, thank you all so much.
Thank you, Roger.
If there are any
Appreciate
questions, thanks.
Look
Hope we're
forward
proud of
to,
all we've accomplished. I know we are. It's when you see it in writing and in bullet points, it's like, wow, it's
Yeah.
pretty amazing.
I like your input, our action.
Oh, cool.
I
Yeah.
like that.
Our team sat down and just kind of brainstormed, if we were a resident, what would be the easiest message? And that was one. You asked, we delivered.
Well, I think it's important for people to know that you're listening to them.
Exactly.
That we're listening to them, everyone.
Yeah. Thanks so much, y'all.
all righty.
Are you
Thank
sure
you.
David's listening?
Thank you, Roger. Our last item on the agenda for work session is executive session, consultation with legal counsel pursuant to section 551.071 of the Texas Government Code for discussion regarding Golden Creek Pool. We are in executive session. At 5:33.
I see someone wore certain
session, no action was taken. As we have no further items on the agenda, we are adjourned.
Well, what are they?